Hello everyone, I'm Steve from VALHARTV, and today I'll be reviewing The Rings of Power, Episode 8. It's the season finale, folks. New alliances are forged. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Yeah. Let's just jump into this. So, there's a lot of things that are going on in this episode that really aren't even relevant. We get the Harfoots. They're following the stranger, who's basically Gandalf. I mean, we find that out at the end when he does a line from the Two Towers when they're going into the mines of Moria. So that's great, right? But they apparently they can't actually call him Gandalf. So yeah, I mean, as far as I know, wizards didn't show up until the Third Age in Middle Earth. So this is very interesting on what they're doing, because they're just kind of trying to rewrite the lore to whatever they want. Not only that, Slim Lady, or the Slim Shady lookalike, and her two cronies are wraiths. Everybody's calling them Nazgul, but the Nazgul were first observed around 2251 SA, Second Age, after the rings were forged. And according to, and I'm looking at it right now, the one wiki, the One Ring wiki there, 19 rings were forged at Eregion by Celebrimbor. And Sauron ensnared all 19 of them, except for the 3 elven rings that were made after the fact. So here we have, like, I don't even know what they're trying to do, because apparently they're female ring race, and the leader is a witch. She can do magic. So how, when we only saw 3 rings of power forged in this episode, can we have the ring wraiths when Sauron hasn't even given them the rings and hasn't even made the one ring to rule all other rings? I mean, it's what they, yeah. And on top of that, you have, like, the worst dialogue they have. We get the repurposed shot of Halbrand on the horse riding to Eregion with Galadriel in front, and she's, just like you had at in the Fellowship of the Rings, where Frodo was rescued and was taken on horseback to Elrond and them. So we really get these all repurposed shots and stuff. And then on top of that, like, Elrond is like, how are you here? Because it's a legitimate question. She turns around and says, how are you here? I mean, I would have looked at her and been like, what? I wasn't on a ship going to Valinor. That's how I'm here. I'm supposed to be here. What are, like, why would you ask me why I'm supposed to be here? And he's just like, oh, okay, cool. I'm like, what? And then on top of that, what really killed me is Elrond isn't even full-blooded elf. He's like, you gave a half-elf orphaned boy water one day. Oh, we've been friends since. And I'm like, okay, so his dad ascended to the heavens thanks to the Valinor. We got that part. But apparently he didn't have a mom. His mom was AWOL, so was she a bad mom? I mean, is this what Disney wants to show, is bad moms now? I mean, like, or Amazon too? It's like, I mean, Disney already does it. But yeah, Amazon, I'm just like, what is going on here? And how is he even a half-elf? I'm like, I don't get that. He was never a half-elf as far as I knew. I mean, leave a comment down below. Let me know, because I'm honestly, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a normie when it comes to Tolkien. I'm a straight up normie. I mean, I've read the Hobbit twice. I've read the Lord of the Rings books twice. I've read only the first maybe 20, 30 pages of Silmarillion. So I'm a normie when it comes to this stuff. So let me know down below if he was an actual half elf or not, because pretty sure he's not. Pretty sure he was always a regular elf, but I mean, at this point I don't know because they've literally destroyed the lore. And then on top of it, I mean, I know Brimborn is supposed to be like the craftsman. He's like the best out there. But in this show, he's kind of a doddering like old fool a little bit. Like, I get sometimes, even like a master craftsman gets stuck on something and he's got to think about like how to do it. But when you have Sauron, yes, Halbrand and Sauron, come down and be like, oh well, why don't you mix it with other alloys that will enhance its abilities? And he's like, why didn't I think of that? And then, of course, you have Galadriel being like, you guys are forcing things. Don't do it. And they're like, oh my God, she's right. We're going about this all wrong. Now we got to make some more stuff. And on top of that, she finally investigates Sauron, Halbrand, and finds out he's not even a descendant of a king. And this was the best part about this entire episode. Sauron literally is like, well, how do you think everybody else is going to feel when they find out you saved Sauron? Because every single thing that's happened is your fault. He's like, you jumped off a ship, got on a raft with me, I saved you, you saved me, we got saved by Númenóreans, I wanted to stay on Númenor, you insisted that I did not stay on there, and then when you asked where I got this crest, I told you straight out that it was off a dead man, which I did not lie about, but you didn't believe me. Then you went and convinced the Númenóreans to send ships and men to fight for the Southlanders on my behalf, and then you told the Southlanders that I was their king, when I'm not. And then, of course, you bring me to the elves to heal me and save me. So everything is all on you. And he just is like, now be my girlfriend. And of course, we get the repurposed when Frodo offers the ring to her in Fellowship of the Ring. Or is it Two Tower? I'm sorry. But anyways, it's where he offers her the ring and she's like, in place of a Dark Lord, you'd have a Dark Queen. Yeah, it's like all repurposed. And I'm just like, okay, wow. I'm like, this is such a great episode. And it's such a trashy episode. I'm like, it's great trash. Let's put those two words together. It's great trash. Because that's what this episode is, and that's what this season's been. I just was like, floored. And I was like, wow. And then on top of that, Elrond saves her. And after Sauron takes off, when she tells him no, of course, because she's like, you dirty rat. You killed my brother. You dirty rat. You killed my brother. I was like, wow, okay, cool, man. I'm like, gangster. Gangster style. She's gonna just shank the boy. I was like, all right. Does she tell anybody that he's Sauron? Absolutely not. Does Elrond figure out that he's not who he says he is? Yes, because he finds the scroll in the river afterwards because he's like, why is she acting all weird? And then they forge just the 3 rings for the elves, which is completely out of order. And I was like, wow, dude. What a great trashy episode, because that was literally the best part about this whole entire episode in this series, this season, was when Sauron literally sums the entire season up and basically tells her that it's all her fault. That none of this would have happened if she had just stopped what she was doing and left everybody alone. And I was just like, wow, amazing. So great trash. I would honestly give this episode a 4.5, 5, maybe 5 out of 10 because of that, just that alone. The whole summary of the whole entire season by Sauron himself. Yeah, I mean, it was just bad. Overall, the series, the season was, yeah, four, 4.5, the most. I'm probably being generous, but yeah, I mean it. It was just, yeah, it was just bad. I was like, and then there was no dwarves in this, so we don't even get to find out why King Durin doesn't want anybody mining for Mithril. We don't even get to see the Balrog. We don't get to see nothing. Uh, we get to see Mordor and the Southlands, and at the end, and that's about it. And I'm just like, okay, sweet. Not how you want to do a season finale, but hey, who am I to tell them, right? I mean, so if you guys like what I do, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, this is bad. I'm sorry. Take care for now, everyone.